What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to another roundup keeping you up to date on all the latest wrestling news. Today we are covering everything regarding the Daniel Bryan and WWE situation, as his contract has actually expired. We got brand new tag team champion, a loaded AEW Dynamite episode, and big update on a certain free agent that apparently was set to sign with AEW. But before we get into that and more, make sure that you guys have those notifications turned on to continue being up to date, and if you want even more wrestling content, consider checking out the second channel. And over the last 24 hours, we have gotten the massive report that Daniel Bryan's WWE contract has expired. This initial reports come from Fightful, who is one of the most reliable sources that we always tend to talk about. And per the report, his contract has either expired or was set to expire sometime last week, and he was officially no longer under contract after his match with Roman Reigns. After the match, he was written out of storylines when Roman Reigns attacked him with a steel chair. Per the stipulation, he's now banished from SmackDown. Daniel Bryan was actually asked about his contract status last week during an interview with TV Line, in which he did not give a date on when his deal was expiring, but he indicated that it wasn't in September, as many have speculated, and that his neck is just wrecked and he is now looking at reducing his schedule. His neck being so banged up is probably one of the main reasons why WWE wrote him out of storyline, while they more or less try to negotiate a brand new contract, and while he also takes that extra time off. In that interview, he emphasized that he wants to do things as a part-timer instead, so that he could focus more on his family, which is something that he has been mentioning for over a year now. Daniel Bryan has expressed a desire to work with other promotions, but this news does not mean that he won't sign a new deal with WWE, and it is possible that maybe he already agreed on a brand new deal for whenever he decides to come back. Obviously, promotion like AEW and Impact Wrestling will jump at the chance to sign him if he is interested in. At this point though, it's anyone's guess at what he will do next. Personally, I will be selfish, as Daniel Bryan is my favorite, and I will say that I would like for him to stay on WWE. He is just one of the top talents that WWE actually knows how to use, or for the most part use him well and in a good position, and I feel like there he could make more of an impact than outside of it, as he is someone who likes to elevate the younger talent. Look at the likes of Apollo Crews, Shinsuke Nakamura early on in the year, and of course now even Cesaro. A lot of why these superstars are in the position that they're in right now is of course because they're great at what they do, but also because Daniel Bryan continued to tell WWE that they need to use this unutilized talent more. And not really a surprise, but the Wrestling Observer Radio ended up adding that WWE is pushing hard to sign Daniel Bryan to a brand new contract. One will have to assume that WWE is going to offer him a lot of money, more than any other promotion, New Japan Pro Wrestling and even AEW, just so that Daniel Bryan sticks around. They will likely also end up agreeing on reducing his schedule, since he is banged up and again really wants to spend more time with his family. As this is just a developing story, I will continue to keep you guys up to date, but for the time being, let me know down in the comments below, where would you like to see Daniel Bryan go next? Moving into some other news, this Wednesday night we got the special AEW Dynamite episode, featuring of course the War Games like a Blood and Guts match, which we have been waiting for over a year now, and also we're going to be doing a live watch along for that, so make sure to drop us a follow. Nonetheless, the match card is stacked. Of course, we are getting the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle as the big main event. Dr. Britt Baker is going to be in action. We got the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Eliminator match. Kenny Omega and Nakazawa are going to be taking on Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston, and Cody Rhodes will be in singles action against QT Marshall. But that's tonight. Last night, we got a couple of highlights coming out of NXT, one of those being that we got a brand new NXT Tag Team Champions, Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. They battled it out in an insane street fight match in which Shotzi Blackheart ended up looking like she is definitely the Jeff Hardy of the women's division, jumping off anything that she could find and trying to retain those titles with her tag team partner Ember Moon. Again, a very good main event match. By the end of it, as we said, the Way are the new champions. Another big highlight coming out of this show is that everyone wants the NXT Championship. We had Karen Cross this week getting confronted by Kyle O'Reilly, Pete Dunne, and the returning Finn Balor. And on top of that, next week he already has a match against Austin Theory, who got the best of Karen Cross this week, also attacking him. We have the ratings coming in for Monday Night Raw, and that clocks in at a 1.8 million, which means that these ratings continue to go down for Monday Night Raw, who seems to be on a bit of a slump for the last couple of months. To be fair, this week's Monday Night Raw was a little bit better, as we ended up discussing, but by no means was it a solid show. Monday Night Raw just needs a bit of a reshaking right now, and it's unfortunate that it's doing so bad as we are headed into WrestleMania Backlash. And maybe WWE doesn't really care about the ratings, but obviously it's something worth mentioning because interest for that brand has gone down, and that is something that they need to pay attention to. Onto some other news. Over the last week, there were a lot of rumors indicating that Tessa Blanchard could be headed to AEW, and there was even reports indicating that she was on the verge of signing with the company. And in an update to all of this, PW Insider ended up indicating that that is not the case, and that not only that, but zero conversations between the two sides have taken place. Tessa Blanchard is of course an incredible talent in the pro wrestling scene, but her reputation might have created a situation where companies just aren't interested in bringing her in. We got multiple stories, especially last year, of her backstage bullying and intimidation to other roster members, and this was all right before her massive Impact Wrestling World title win. Adding to this, our Ringside News indicated that Tessa Blanchard is also not on NXT's radar, at least for the time being. And before ending this off, just a quick update in regards to Roman Reigns. WWE finally posted his brand new Head of the Table theme song on their WWE Music YouTube channel. Definitely check it out if you guys wanted to listen to it by itself and get a feel of it. And honestly, after listening to it a couple of times, it's growing on me, much like the Bayley and also the Seth Rollins heel theme song, all of which I feel like surprisingly WWE did a good job on it, at least compared to so many of the generic theme songs that we get to hear nowadays for a lot of their superstars. Anyways guys, that is all the latest news that we got on this roundup. If you enjoyed or found this informative, don't forget to hit a running knee on the like button. And if you want to continue being up to date on all the wrestling news, WWE news, and AEW coverage, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on those notifications. I'll catch you on the next one, so stay savage.